this is the second video about our April 2020 book club book, which is Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain. So today's the last day of April. It's my birthday. It's been a great day. Very quiet, but lovely and simple and beautiful. And thank you for all of you who have sent me lovely messages. Felt delicious. So, this book, I've really loved it. I have some excerpts marked. I've gotten to the end of part 3, and right after, the next page is going to be part 4, which is special techniques. So I'll walk you through the parts of this book again. Part 1 are the basics of creative visualization. Part 2, using creative visualization. Part 3, meditations and affirmations, which is what I'm just finishing. Part 4, special techniques, and Part 5, living creatively. So I really love this book, and what I've learned doing it over the years is that often you'll do a thing and then you'll kind of forget about it, and then later you'll go back and see what you wrote down, or you'll remember what you were trying to manifest, and you'll look around at your current world and be like, dang, it happened. Because we do live in a holographic universe. Just study quantum mechanics if you're not quite sure about it. So let's read you some excerpts here. First one, Prosperity Programming, page 62. I feel like the 3 things that humans tend to need when it comes to manifesting stuff is money, love, and health. Money, love, and health. If people have money, love, and health, then they're good. And it's usually something in one of those 3 categories that they're wanting. So, here we go. Prosperity Programming. A very important part of the whole creative visualization process is prosperity programming. This means having the understanding, or consciously taking the point of view, that the universe is totally abundant. It is a cornucopia of everything that your heart could ever desire, both on the material plane and on emotional, mental, and spiritual planes as well. Everything you need or want is here for the asking. You only need to believe that it is so, to truly desire it, and to be willing to accept it in order to have whatever you wish. In here, I'll just put a note that a couple months ago, it was back during the holiday season, I believe, I had this realization in doing some of my own personal shadow work that I wasn't letting myself really desire things, that the school of thought that I should be happy with what I have, I should be grateful for my life, I have so much, and there are so many people that don't have as much as I do, kind of made me feel potentially guilty about wanting anything else. But of course that doesn't make any sense logically once you can actually see it. It was a little hidden shadow that I had. And of course, if the divine consciousness is speaking through you and you're supposed to generate a new world around you, which all of us are, it's going to come through things that you want. And you might want things because you had something else that you didn't want and you want this instead. Or you might just want things because you blossom into wanting them because that's what it is yours to do, is to create them. Okay, moving on. One of the most common causes of failure to get what you want is scarcity programming. This is an attitude or set of beliefs about life that goes something like this. There isn't enough to go around. Life is suffering. It is immoral or selfish to have plenty when others don't have enough. Life is hard, difficult, a vale of tears. You must work hard and sacrifice for everything you gain. It is more noble and spiritual to be poor. I definitely have that one. And so forth. These are all false beliefs. They are based on a lack of understanding of how the universe works, or a misunderstanding of some important spiritual principles. These beliefs are not of service to you or anyone else. They simply limit all of us from realizing our natural state of prosperity and plenty on all levels. Okay, so this next part I really love, and I read it like 3 times when I was first reading this passage. At the present time, there is a reality in this world of starvation and poverty for many people. But we do not need to keep creating and perpetuating that reality any longer. I'll read that again. At the present time, there is a reality in this world of starvation and poverty for many people, but we do not need to keep creating and perpetuating that reality any longer. The fact that there is more than enough to go around the fact is that there is more than enough to go around for every being on earth if we are willing to open our minds to that possibility. And then she references another book, which is the Hunger Project source book, which I have not read. The universe is a place of great abundance, and we are all naturally prosperous, both in material and spiritual wealth. Those who are not experiencing their world as rich and abundant are on some level believing in scarcity programming rather than abundance. They have, through ignorance, bought into the popular belief in the inevitability of poverty and lack, and do not realize yet that the ultimate power of creation rests in the hands, or rather minds, of each of us. I really feel like with the whole corona thing, we're being given the opportunity to remake our lives, because it's not going to be how it was. Even when we come out of this, it's going to be different. So we get to now choose what we want, which is why something like creative visualization I think is so great to do right now. Okay. The truth about this earth is that it is an infinitely good, beautiful, nourishing place to be. The only evil comes from lack of understanding of this truth. Evil, ignorance, is like a shadow. It has no real substance of its own. It is simply a lack of light. You cannot cause a shadow to disappear by trying to fight it, stamp on it, by railing against it, or any other form of emotional or physical resistance. In order to cause a shadow to disappear, you must shine light on it. Take a look at your belief system and see if you are holding yourself back by not believing sufficiently in the universal good. Can you actually, realistically imagine yourself as a successful, satisfied, prosperous, fulfilled person? Can you really open your eyes to the goodness and beauty and abundance that are all around you? Can you imagine this world transformed into a happy, prosperous, and enlightened environment in which everyone can flourish? Wait, I have to say that again because it's so good. And this is one of those things, for my birthday today, I've been making wishes and stuff, and it's so funny, but a lot of what I wish for is the whole cliche world peace. I imagine a world where we're doing hydroponic gardening and treating animals and plants well, and having small communities that correspond with larger communities and give everyone what they need, and kind of building on the ruins of our current civilization to make something greater. So, can you imagine this world transformed into a happy, prosperous, and enlightened environment in which everyone can flourish? Feels good. Unless you can create a context that the world is a good place to be, that can potentially work for everyone, you will experience difficulty in creating what you want in your personal life. This is because human nature is basically loving, and so most of us will not allow ourselves to have what we want as long as we believe that we might be depriving others in order to do so. We have to understand in a deep way that having what we want in life contributes to the general state of human happiness and supports others in creating more happiness for themselves. That's Lily. So, that one's really great, I think, because, just on so many levels, believing that for us to have what we want, someone else has to have less is not true. I think that especially if we become self-contained, especially if we're doing things like growing our own food and making what we want and creating it for ourselves and banding with others with similar ideas and thinking outside the box to shift our paradigm, there is definitely enough to go around in this earth. This earth is a beautiful place, and the problems with culture are problems that we can change. We're adults. We can do it. Okay. I don't have time to read all of these things that I put in here. All right. Accepting your good. In order to use creative visualization to accept what you want in life, you must be willing and able to accept the best that life has to offer you, your good. Strange as it may seem, many of us have difficulty accepting the possibility of having what we want in life. Is that true for you? I know that sometimes it's true for me. Sometimes I feel like, who am I to live a wonderful, great life when people don't have it? Or maybe people aren't going to like me if I manifest my desires or that kind of thing. But I gotta get over it, yo. Okay. This usually stems from some basic feeling of unworthiness, which we took on at a very early age. The basic belief goes something like this: I'm really not a very good, lovable, worthwhile person, so I don't deserve to have the best. This belief is usually mixed with other, sometimes contradictory feelings that you really are perfectly good and deserving. But if you find that you have any difficulty imagining yourself in the most wonderful possible circumstances, or that you have thoughts like, I could never have that, or this couldn't possibly happen to me, it might well be good to take a look at your self-image. When she talks about self-image, I'm going to tell you guys some of the affirmations. Itchy nose. That's you. Touch my face. It's okay. I'm home. Yay, Corona. Okay, here's some affirmations that she has to kind of counteract that. I am beautiful and lovable. I am kind and loving, and I have a great deal to share with others. I am talented, intelligent, and creative. I am growing more and more attractive every day. I deserve the very best in life. I have a lot to offer, and everyone recognizes it. I love the world, and the world loves me. I am willing to be happy and successful. Okay, so last thing I will end on is the pink bubble technique, and this is in the techniques section, and there are so many good ones. This one's one of my favorites because it's so simple and it really works. It really does. Okay, this meditation is simple and wonderfully effective. Exercise. Sit down or lie comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe deeply, slowly and naturally. Gradually relax deeper and deeper. Imagine something that you would like to manifest. Imagine that it has already happened. Picture it as clearly as possible in your mind. Now, in your mind's eye, surround your fantasy with a pink bubble. Put your goal inside the bubble. Pink is the color associated with the heart. And if this color vibration surrounds whatever you visualize, it will bring to you only that which is in perfect affinity with your being. The third step is to let go of the bubble and imagine it floating off into the universe, still containing your vision. This symbolizes that you are emotionally letting go of it. Now it is free to float around in the universe, attracting and gathering energy for its manifestation. There's nothing more you need to do. So I'm using that for a few things. I've just been doing it for a little while. They haven't come about yet. Some of them kind of have. And it's really interesting when I look back in time at things that I've manifested before or lists that I wrote that I find years later. I find that so often I actually had the things when I wrote the list. I just couldn't really see it because I wasn't noticing things in my life that were actually precious. One last thing I'll leave this on with the whole coronavirus situation, the quarantine situation. I really think that more than ever, this is telling us that it's not about the stuff in life, it's about the juice. It's about the feeling, because you can have all the things and not have the feeling that you want. And you can have none of the things and have the feeling, and then the things don't matter. So, yeah, I'd recommend that you look within, cultivate gratitude for what you have in your life, because there's so many beautiful things, you guys. And yeah, I'm not sure when we're going to do the chat on this. I haven't decided, but I will put it in the info section by the time I post this video. I'm thinking I'll do it tomorrow. Sending you guys so much love. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. And if you haven't gotten this book yet, do it. It's a great thing to do during quarantine. Okay, peace and blessings. Bye.